New people,
Yes,
that's nice.
nice. Good
Good
morning, guys.
morning.
Happy
Who's
Monday.
here? Let me see.
Yes, yes,
Happy Monday,
yes.
Wanda.
Hi, Jari.
Hmm.
New
Quite a
people.
few people here. Good morning.
Happy Monday.
Who's
Morning,
here? Let me
guys.
see. Good morning. Good
Yes, yes,
morning.
yes.
Diana, good morning.
Hi, Jari.
Good morning, good
New
morning.
people.
Quite a
Good
few people here.
morning, Diana.
Good morning. A lot of good mornings. A lot of good mornings. Lots of good mornings.
Yes.
Let's get the
It
ball
is a good
rolling.
day to have a
Good
good
morning.
day.
Good
That's how I
morning.
call it.
Good morning, Diana.
Earlier than 8.
A lot of good mornings. A lot of good mornings.
How about an
Lots of good
echo?
mornings.
I have the morning meeting at 8.
Hi.
Hey,
Good morning,
guys.
family.
All right, all right, all right. So thank everyone for coming on this morning on Mindset
You want to
Monday.
walk,
We
Mochino?
we are pretty much almost done with January. It's crazy. This is the last
Yes.
Monday for January, right? Just about. Yeah, just about. This is the last Monday. So we're moving and grooving already through the year. So hopefully
Yeah.
everyone, huh?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so everybody, I hope everyone's still on their New Year's resolutions and they're still on your goals. I hope everyone's still, pushing strong to hit their goals this year. Even though most people fall off already by this time, but hopefully, I'm praying that everyone here is still following through with their goals. So we have a really good mindset Monday today about strategy. But before we get into it, I want to really quick talk about some announcements that everybody's kind of aware of what's going on within La Rosa, and then we get started. All right. So really quick, I know the bus is full right now, but you guys can still follow us on February 18th. If there is any cancellations, we will definitely let everybody know in regards on the bus. So the bus tour got full literally like in what, like 2 days. So we have a total of about 48 people, right? 48 people on the bus already?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
45. We max capacity right now,
How
but
much?
45.
45 max capacity. We were trying to get a second bus, but we still don't have a confirmation for that. If we do get a second bus, then we'll let everybody know and get going. But if anybody's not gonna attend on the 18th, please let us know so we can fill the spot with somebody else that wants to get on the bus on the February 18th. Then we have this week coming up in the Lake Nona office. They're gonna be having a business planning class. If you in Spanish, if you haven't done your business plan, it is never too late. You can still do it this week. This week. That way you can get an idea of what you want to do this year, so you can go one step closer to your goals. So it's very important that we understand our GPS and understand where we're headed. So if you are able to make it on Thursday from 11 to 12 or 10 to 12.
It will be from 11 to 12.
From 11 to 12, please make sure you're there. It's going to be in Spanish, the class. It's going to help you understand your goals, where you're headed, and that way you have a higher likelihood of reaching your goals. Then we also have February 5th. February 5th is a great day because we're going to be having the award ceremony for all the top producers. You'll get a special invite on that event, which we will be sending it out. We've pretty much been sending it out already since this past week. Then the other announcement is going to be we have Legacy coming in April. More dates are going to be coming. The dates are going to be updated. They're already on my agent account, but right now it slips my mind the Legacy date. I know it's in April, but if you're not, you can go on my agent account and check. That way you can go ahead and register, and please register for that. That's going to have some good motivational speakers going. So please make sure you attend. It's a great event to attend. So that's pretty much it for announcements. I don't want to bore everybody with these announcements anymore. Let's go ahead and get started with our Mindset Monday.
Let's try, guys.
Let's do it.
If you look at it, the month had flew by. So this is actually the last Monday of the month. So definitely a time that we had to really go back and start thinking and start kind of by being able to start planning where we at and what we're going to do. So that's why we got our Mindset Monday today. It's called Think Strategically and Not Reactively. And very important to understand that with the difference between those two. Because in real estate, actually, we get to react. We react on the daily basis. We react to the emails. We react when we get a text. We react with what's going on with the prices out there. We react on the social media. It's kind of like all these distractions going on, all this reaction, and we are not planning at what our days is going to look like. So the difference of the guys between a high level agent and a strong leader is not just the effort, it's how they think under pressure. When you have all those distractions coming through at the same time, how do you react to it? Do you put the phone on the side and you stick to your plan? You still just stick to that strategy you have because you have your goals for this year and you want to make sure you accomplish your goal, or you just go around and again get completely distracted. So a couple of points that we're going to be talking about today is reaction feels urgent and a strategy feels intentional because you have the plan, you want to make sure you stick to it. So what's going to be our first point today? How do we react to all these changes? How do we plan a strategy to make sure that we don't get off track in our daily tasks and our daily stuff that we got to do? Cesar, you have your hand up.
Because I want to say something about that because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that feels sometimes like we're getting pulled in every single direction. And sometimes you got to ask yourself. I love asking questions for that way we can kind of better, I guess, self-reflect and be able to kind of better understand why we're processing a certain way. And one of those questions is, okay, why am I getting pulled in every direction? Why am I feeling this way? Because what happens when we were getting pulled in every direction, I mean, think about this. If you have kids and you have three kids asking for three different things at the same time, screaming and yelling, how do we feel? How do we feel? There's no direction. Whoever has the kids, they understand. I have kids, so I understand. Believe me, sometimes it's like one's wanting this, the other one's wanting A, the other wanting C, and then we're getting pulled everywhere, and there's no clear direction of where to head with all that, and it becomes extremely, extremely overwhelming. Extremely overwhelming. That's why I mentioned earlier about the strategy. I love this mindset because we have to think strategically. That way, we can understand our GPS and be able to have a clear direction of where we're headed, and then that way we don't get blown by the wind. We don't get blown by the shiny object. We don't get blown by the oh, is this thing over here or it's real nice over here. No, no. We have a GPS, we have a direction. We have to continue staying in that direction because if not, there's going to be a lot of shiny objects. So I love the talking points. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to add that to that.
No, and think about this, Cesar. Like, let's say that you block your time because you're doing, your strategy that you're gonna block 2 hours a day to make your phone call. But in the middle of those 2 hours that you block, you getting messages, you getting other phone calls, you get the email alerts sounds, and then you kind of like get yourself distracted. Next thing you know, you completely drop the task that you have and then you're going in through other directions. You start responding, you start reacting to those daily tasks instead of like, let me finish my main thing today. What's the one thing that you're going to accomplish today? That is making my calls.
Right.
And those all the calls, those other email, those other like distractions are coming into it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to do it after I finish I say like we call it, and they say the same, finish your breakfast. Finish that breakfast first before you jump into and react into other areas, which is like very common, especially for us realtors. If you think about the personality of a real estate agent, we extremely ADHD. We are like all over the place at one. There's so many tabs open. We should, if you think about it, we need that capacity in order to be able to complete some of the tasks. Because if you think about a transaction, there's a lot going on with a transaction, right? I think you're working with a seller, you're working with a buyer, you're working with another agent, you have the title. You got so many people on the pot that we have to be able to maneuver through that. But again, how do we stay focused?
And the thing is, I mean, you pretty much answered this. You got time block, and we got to freaking have a GPS. And everything you were mentioning about there's so many different tasks we have to do with real estate. And the thing about it is that we feel productive, and that's the crazy part. We feel as if we're being productive, and in the end, we're not being giving the production that we want, or doing the production that we want. And that's the crazy thing about how it's like a self-sabotage, but in a positive way because we feel like we're productive, but we're self-sabotaging ourselves. And that's the part that we really have to be careful about. And I'm not sure if you guys caught on to the theme this past month in January. Pretty much every Mindset Monday has been in regards to hinting and pushing towards your GPS, hinting and pushing towards, having a direction, a clear direction to avoid distractions, to avoid as much as possible. We're not saying it's going to be a perfect thing, but that reaction, that we make it feel urgent because we have nothing else on the plan. We have nothing else in the calendar. So anything that comes to us, we're like, oh no, this is important because in your mind, you're not telling yourself that, oh, I don't have anything. But subconsciously, you're reacting because deep down, you have no plan. Deep down, we have nothing on the schedule. Deep down, we woke up this morning, we're like, man, what am I gonna do today? And then the first email that comes in about anything has to do with nothing, anything that you can directly connect it to real estate. Oh, we're reacting because that's important. That's related to real estate. I need to do this because I'm gonna be working. And then we feel super productive about it, but in reality, it didn't really push us anywhere to our goals. So we have to be intentional. Like that's the first point. Strategy feels intentional. Like when we wake up and we understand that I have a block of, okay, I already blocked out 30 minutes to do my emails, so I'm going to take care of that. But I have two other blocks that are the most important one that I can ask myself during the day, okay, if nothing else happens on my calendar, but I get these things done, am I going to be satisfied that's actually pushing me towards my goal? Is it pushing me towards my real estate goals? Is it pushing me towards that? Am I on track on my GPS? If you can answer that question and you can do those tasks, then oof, you're more than halfway there, in my opinion.
So,
Magda,
Yeah.
you have your hand up, then Norma.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's if we don't have the clarity, it's very difficult in order to act because we are waiting for something to happen just to react because we don't have the GPS, like you're saying. If we have everything in order, if we know what it is working or what is going to work for us, and we are clear, so we know where to go. Um, Things doesn't work the same for everybody. So some people like to have everything in their phone, their computer. Some want to write everything. Like now, last week I bought a lot of folders. So I have everything in
Organize.
paper and put it to check my follow-ups and everything because sometimes the technology we have it there, but if we don't see it like all the time, to me, I wanted to see it and touch it and check, and you know that's why we need to know what is working for us. And I'm clear now that that's what I gotta do, and I got everything organized now, so I have no excuse because I know what is working, and just to make sure that we know what to do and don't react and just work for us because we are a business person. We gotta work like a CEO, no, like we are in regular agent. So we gotta be clear with our goal, and this is going to help.
I love that we're CEO, and that's exactly what it is. We're CEO on business. We're not an employee. So we gotta delete that employee mentality and be able to have that strategy. And I love that too, Magda, that you mentioned that, for you, it works best when you write things down because a lot of us are visual. And like myself right now, every time I do my mindset Monday, I have my notes. I wrote down this the night before, preparing myself. And some other people I know, Cesar likes more in the technology side, right? Cesar, you have it more your notes on your iPad or your on your computer.
Yeah.
For me, it's more like let me write it down. So that's a great point that you brought in, Magda, talking about like each of us have a different way to be able to make ourselves productive.
But the funny thing is that I even before I put everything on the calendar, I write everything down before because there's just something about writing it down
Yeah,
that
you
feels so
do, yeah.
different. I write everything down and then I go ahead and take the time and transfer it over to the calendar because that's what's gonna remind me. My notebook don't remind me. That's the whole thing. That's the reason why.
Point. Norma.
I love what you say, Magda. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a baby boomer. I love to have my agenda. I write it down, everything. But I think we have to know ourselves our production time. For myself, is early in the morning. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I have my coffee, then I planning my day. I answer all my emails. I am a coach. I planning all my things with my coach's agent before 9 o'clock. Well, Monday before 8 o'clock, because I have the call at 8, then the 9 o'clock I have another call. But this is my production time. When it's not Monday or Friday, from 9 to 1, I have my time to call the agents, my clients, because this is my time when I focus the most, when I have the most clarity. After that, I go to see the builders or go out with clients. But I know that time from 9 to 1 or 9:30 to 1 is the time when I have to call the clients. Then after that, 5:30 to 7, when I have again, the energy to call again the clients, because they are driving to go back to home, or when you can, it's the time when they are home already. But you need to know what is the time worth for you to make the calls and block that time.
That is a good point, Norma. And that's, again, we go to a lot of these trainings and we want to apply. Like, for instance, Norma says 6 a.m. I'm a 5 a.m. bird. So I'm not expecting anybody in this call to get up at 5 a.m. every morning.
No, 5 is too
But
dark.
that's my thinking time. That's when I plan my day. That's when I have my better, that people say the best idea come in the shower, because you put all the distractions and then your brain is actually focused on one thing. For me, it's at 5 to 6 a.m. That's when all my great ideas, and I'm more productive and I can really put things together. But again, it works differently for everybody. So finding that soft spot, like you say, Norma, is definitely a key. Cedar.
No, like what I want to say, what everyone is saying is, I love how it's just the whole intentionality part that is so key here. Everyone that's been speaking is there's talking about intentionality. They understand what time, they understand the best time that works for them. They understand the patterns that they have that makes them more productive. Like Magda's being organized, having everything, visualizing everything, being able to see everything. Norma waking up at a certain hour to have time to do this. Priscilla, her thinking time, and being able to plan the day ahead of time. That's all intentionality. So I want to ask, like, this is more reflection. Everybody is not, to answer, but it's for you to think about. What patterns are you seeing in your decision making? What patterns are you seeing so far this year that are either contributing to your intentionality or is contributing to your reactions? So try to figure out what pattern is that. You have to be real conscious. I'm very, like I've always said it before on this call. You have to be real conscious and be really reflective in regards on a weekly basis. I'm a very reflective person. On a weekly, I try to go back and recap what I did right, why I did wrong, so I can continue improving. But the only way is that it's for us. The only way for us to improve is to ask the right question. So, I beg everyone to really consider that question. What patterns am I seeing this year so far? That I was doing either last year that didn't contribute to nothing, or what patterns I'm going to start changing now, starting at the beginning of the year, that are going to lead me one step closer to where I want to be, whether to our goals, something personal, or whatever the case is, or the business. So all this translates to life and everything. It's not something we can only apply to real estate. We can apply this to our personal lives, our kids, everything. We can apply this. So think about that. What pattern are you doing right now that is not doing you any justice, or what pattern are you doing that's not actually making you intentional? Which that's something extremely important that we should all be asking.
Yeah, and then I also, that's going to be our next point, but it's going to be sometime we make decision based on emotion instead of sitting down and be able to digest the information we just got and be able to think about before we react to it. But before that, let's go to Santos Lopez. You have your hand up, Santos. And you
Sorry. So yeah, I think that we should have to start with the discipline. When we got a plan, we have to attach to that plan, especially us. As you guys mentioned, we are the CEO of our company, but at the other time, we got all the time. If we want to spend all the time just sitting in the seat, just watching TV, we can do that. But we have to remember that the discipline, if we are thinking or if we have a plan, we have to attach to that plan in order to accomplish with that plan, you know. And this is one of the things that I think that in this career most of the people doesn't stand, that you have to move, you have to be the action, and if you can do that, for sure, this job is not for you, because you have to move in, all the time, all the time. Yeah.
That's true. And
Thank you,
when we
Santos.
had our 8 or 9 to 5, how we call it, we were there on time. We completed our tasks. We pour into whatever company we work in the past. So how nice is to pour into your own, and then to be able to create your own schedule, because where other career, because you think about it, this is why one of the things that I got into went from working behind the scene on the corporate level to be in the front of the camera, because that's what we're doing right now, right? So, and what career you can, especially for those moms out there, you can create your own schedule. You can decide what days you're gonna have off. All of us here on this call can say, tomorrow I'm not working past 4 p.m. You know what? I don't feel good today. I'm gonna take my own PTO.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say something about that. I gotta say something about that really quick, because we gotta be sometimes that like I came from 9 to 5, and I understand that the mental switch can be hard. And whoever's working, whoever's has that job, it is possible to be able to leave your 9 to 5 and make real estate full time. That is possible, because I was one. I quit my job cold turkey. I know a lot of you know already that part, but it's something that it's a little scary when you're doing it, especially when you quit your job, and then spend 6 months without making any money. That's tough. And I'm saying that's what's gonna happen to you, but it's something that happened to me, and a lot of fear, a lot of frustration, a lot of things happen in that process. But if I wouldn't have kept pushing, kept going, I would not be here right now. It wouldn't be. It's almost 15 years later now. But one thing I can say about that part is that where that comes with this, the emotional decisions, the fear, the frustration, all that also comes because of the fact that if we're in the mindset of 9 to 5, like Priscilla mentioned, we working for somebody else. We are, clocking in for somebody else, completing the task for somebody else, for another company. And then when we switch it to us, then like Santos said, the discipline, what happened with the discipline goes out the window. It's just that we still haven't made that mental switch in our brain. We haven't made that mental, that you transferred that mentality shift of, okay, wow, we're our own boss now. We are our own, we determine our schedule. We determine what we put on the calendar. No one's gonna knock on the door and be like, hey, you gotta get up. No one's gonna go ahead and tell you, oh, this is your schedule for the week. No, we have to create that. We have to figure that out. And that's why it's so important for us to understand where we're headed. And sometimes that's what happened with most of us, including myself. It was a hard thing making the switch of understanding that I'm the one now putting the things on the calendar for me to be able to accomplish those things. And then the thing is that we don't even know if whatever we're putting on the calendar is really we're gonna get there or not. And that's the part, but that's the part of believing that and trusting that ourselves, that whatever we're putting on the calendar, whatever we're putting on there that we want to accomplish, that we believe it. We got to believe that with our heart. We got to believe with every cell in our body that we can actually accomplish this. Because if we can't, if we haven't even made that shift of believing it, then do you actually think you can actually complete it on your calendar? We have to trust. We have to trust our decisions. We have to trust our decisions and be careful with the unlimited time that we're gaining when we leave our job, because that can be very dangerous when we have unlimited time and then we don't know how to
Es que es
organize
no
that time.
accountability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No accountability. So if you need accountability, talk to us. Let us know. We connect you with somebody. That's why we have the community. That's why we have this, because of the
The
fact that
community.
we want this to serve as an accountability for you on a weekly basis. That way you can kind of reshift. No, okay. If you need to go look at a video of organizing your time, leaving your job, look, there's got to be a million videos on YouTube talking about the transition from leaving your job to being your own boss and trying to figure out your own schedule. You have to take responsibility. We have to take ownership. That's the biggest thing sometimes that I feel with agents that don't do. We don't take full responsibility or ownership of our business, of our time, of what we're looking to do. And then we just let it be, whew, and then we're frustrated and fearful because we're not getting where we need to be. But in reality, we have to look within, because if not, then no one else is gonna do it. No one's gonna come and save you. We had a mindset Monday call that no one's gonna come and save you.
It's
So
emotional. It's we get
sure.
frustrated because emotion gets on the way.
Yes.
That's where frustration comes through. Hey, the deal didn't close, or some situation, that lead didn't call me back. And we let all those emotions come into a part and forget about our main goal, which is I said, I think one of us said it one time, I said every morning you get up and really say you're unemployed. You don't have
Yeah.
an actually job. So you got to go out there and get that next paycheck. We had Cheryl, and then we have Horthead.
You know that I feel that that's why the why that we create to ourselves needs to be good enough or big enough or that motivates you enough in order um to help you to get to where you want it to be. And the way I see it is that my why is I always go back to my why. And that's why everybody says that you need to see your why every day, every morning. That's the one who's gonna get you back on track. Oh no, I really want to accomplish this. I have to, I need to. So let's go back to square one. Because when we feel not motivated enough, that why is gonna help you to get motivated again. And when you don't accomplish your goal, because that happens, we're human, that's okay. Every day is a new day to start all over again. So it's that okay. You still have the chance. Your clock, it doesn't have to be from January to December. You set the goal. You set the time frame. You don't have to go by the year. Okay, we are in the end of January. That's okay. You know now what you did that you were supposed to do. But now, today is another day. Maybe it's from today is the 26th, so now it's from the January 26th to February. And don't make your goals look like that big because sometimes scares you. Just do it like in a month, daily, like a monthly basis, or maybe a weekly, or maybe
Go to
50.
daily, I go hourly.
I
Like
like
Atomic Habit, little by
Little
little.
by little.
little by little. And it's so cool and rewarding when you see that you accomplish something in the little by little steps. And when you put all those little by little step together, that's what gets you to that goal. So for me, my why is huge. And let me tell you, that motivates me every day. And when we get not motivated, or when we see other people that are doing amazing, is that okay? Use that as your motivation. If they're doing, I think I can do it as well. Because some of us, they just get, oh no, I'm not doing great because I have this. No, no, no. If you know there's something that you don't have to get your goal, just work on that thing. There's nothing that differentiates you from those people that are doing amazing. It's just the effort and the passion that you put into making this work for you. Real
Real
simple.
simple.
It
Not
just
not get that emotion get on the way. Like that's definitely a point here. Second point. Jorge, you muted, Jorge.
oh yeah.
Am I back?
You're good now.
Okay.
Now,
Just to add to that, I mean, we as in a self-employed, we may sometimes misinterpret the availability that we have. You know what I mean? It seems like we are available, we are owners of our own time, but in reality, if we don't set up our responsibilities, our time frames, and whatnot, we can get confused and it can create a chaos for us. I mean, easily. So the structure, the responsibility that we can create for each other in a daily basis is very important. I think create a pattern in a weekly, in a monthly basis to do and then plan ahead. I think it will something that will help us a lot, especially nowadays with all this free time that we may have because of market or whatever it is outside. But believe it or not, I think this is the time that we must be even busier than any other times because we need to go ahead and be more creative and think outside the box.
Yes, sir. And that's actually you got us to our next point, which says a strategy requires thinking ahead, not
Hmm.
just responding well. So think about that. I want to like also go back a little bit when we talk about a lot of us, and I'm pretty sure majority of this call had another job. So think about that you worked in another company. That company had a goal. They don't just open a company without having the strategy, without thinking ahead, without having a plan of where they've seen themselves, and then hiring the right talent to help them get there. And that's how majority, or not all company actually work. So imagine that you can apply that to yourself, since you are your own CEO or your own company. And you are actually, let me plan, let me put all the strategies that I need. Let me think ahead where I want to go and how I can get this done and how I can, be able to have the right people at the right time. For instance, I can tell you myself, I'm not really good. Like when I go into Canvas to try to create a flyer, I just, my head goes everywhere, but nowhere. Like I don't have the talent to go in and add those little letters and add those little graphic. I don't got it. So what I do with that, I have somebody that I pay for them a monthly basis to help me with it. So identify where you're really good at it, and I put my strategy. Okay, I already know that no matter, I get frustrated if I sit down in front of Canva. So I'm gonna have somebody else who that's their talent. They're very talented on creating flyer, very talented on creating this, have that creativity. So I had, you had to surround yourself with the things that you not so great on it, so that way they can help you get there. And that's what is super important, to be able to have a clear strategy on how you're gonna get it. I know, Cesar, you have your hand up.
Yeah, because when you mentioned strategy requires thinking ahead, and what popped in my head immediately, what popped into my head immediately, I'm not sure who's out here a dreamer. I'm a big dreamer. I could daydream like forever, and but sometimes we get caught up in that daydream, and it's not good. It's not good. I'm not saying it's not good to dream, but we have to know the clear distinction between both of them, whether we're dreaming or we're actually thinking ahead in the sense of based on our GPS that we're setting up. Because I feel that we can get caught up in the dreaming part and stay in that dreaming part, and we feel good and we feel this, and then we're like, and sometimes we get frustrated because we come back from that dream, we're like, damn, it's nowhere near that right now. So we gotta sometimes be careful with that. So it's a big difference for me of thinking ahead strategically versus just daydreaming ahead, and we gotta make sure that my thinking ahead is related to my GPS. And of course we have the dream there still, but the GPS is gonna help us get over there to that side. So it's very important that we have, you know, clear follow. Think about this. We're making it related to real estate. Look at your business right now as a whole and think about, okay, do I have an understanding of when a lead comes in, what I do with this lead? Do I have an understanding of that once this lead comes in, are they receiving anything from me? Clear and intentional. When I do an open house, what's my processes for me? That way, when I get to it's not just me showing up to a house and figuring it out. Then no, what are the resources? What are the things I'm gonna need? That's what we're talking about. Thinking ahead. That way, we're not reacting to things. That way, it's much easier. When we receive leads or whatever the case is in your business. So we have to think about it from the real estate standpoint of, okay, how can I think ahead to make my business a lot easier? In regards to that. Like for example, Priscilla mentioned she doesn't like doing the editing part of making flyers and stuff. So she understands that that's not her strong. So she understands that she has to hire somebody out for that. That's thinking strategically, because then if she go ahead and does that, then she's just gonna get frustrated, and then she's not gonna probably end up doing it. We trying to avoid the frustrations. Think strategically. That way we have a better chance to hit our goals. We have a better chance to hit our goals. That's all I have to say with that. And I know Eric had his hand up.
Yeah, perfect. You did my work for me. Thank you. Thank you. But everything that Cesar, no, everything that Cesar said, it has to do with, in my opinion, the reason I shouldn't say most, a lot of real estate agents fail is because they do not accept that they are the CEO, CFO, CDD, all those things. You are a company. It's a company. You gotta accept that, and you gotta really treat it as such. And you have to do exactly those. You have to know. You have to do your business plan. It's hard, but once you get over that hump, you got it. But you have to accept. That you're the CEO. That's it.
That is correct. Like that's
I know it's common sense, but it's so simple. Well, I don't know if it worked for me. Every day I'm the big boss here. I'm the big cheese, and this place don't move, don't make no money if I don't kick it off. Period.
Thank you, Eric, for sharing that. And that's super important for us to realize that and on a daily basis go back. And like when I said, plan for, like Cheryl say, plan for the next 30 days. And that's how we break it down on the business plan. And you plan it for the 30 days, then we're planning for the week, then we're planning for the day, then we're planning for the hour. You got to narrow it down to what I'm doing each hour of my day. As I'm being productive or I'm being just, reacting to whatever's going on out there. We had Jaddy.
Jaddy.
Yes.
You
Good
can turn your
morning.
camera on. It'd be great.
Good morning, Daddy.
I'm driving right now. Good morning, everyone.
No worries.
Good
Okay.
morning.
Sorry. It's
careful.
it's my first time on one of these meetings. And I'm really loving it.
Oh.
It's really hard for me to like tune in at 8 a.m. I don't know. I mean, I hear you guys have kids. I wake up at 6 in the morning every day, but I wake up to cook and to prepare meals. I have 5 kids. It's really
Oh,
hard for
wow.
me to
Yeah.
get be at 8 a.m. on a call and on a camera, like having it all together by 8 a.m. for myself. No, I have it all together for them, but not for me.
Yeah.
But I'm actually driving right now, and I love that. I couldn't catch the name. I think it's Priscilla, or I'm not sure. The girl that hires somebody for Canva. I love to.
Yes, Priscilla.
Priscilla.
Okay, all right, love it. I feel like I need to hire someone for like almost everything. Um, so I will love to, but I will certainly, I think that is a great idea if we have the means and resources to actually invest in our business to try to, to go ahead and invest it there. I would love to, I don't know if there is an area where we could share, contacts and stuff like that. So we could possibly invest in those things that we don't have the time to do or are not really, capable of doing well. And that would be a great thing that, if people could share those contacts so that we could, because I love to hand out some of the stuff, and be able to do the rest. Because I have, my husband and I, we have a business and we do a lot of property maintenance, and I just get caught up with so much stuff. I could be talking with a client while I'm painting a house, so I and yes, you could find me full of paint at Home Depot, and then at that time I may know a lot of people, but it's just like probably not the right outfit to try to be networking as a realtor. So I have a lot in my hands, but I'll love to I love this call, and I'll love to be able to grasp a little bit, of the contacts and things that you guys will, hire people to do, because I definitely need to hand out some of these things and be able to
Awesome.
concentrate in
Delegate.
that one-on-one.
Yes.
Exactly, delegate.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We can definitely connect and talk about that and see how that looks like. Because what's important is that we, make sure that you're on the right path, and that's where the accountability comes into play. We can definitely anytime you can reach out to any of us, and we can help you out in that aspect.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And I
Thank you for
hope,
sharing.
this is the whole goal for this call is for us to identify ourselves, to be able to, like Cesar said, ask ourselves some couple questions to see where we at, what do we need, what are we missing. And the good thing about this business, if you think about it, we work with a team. It's especially here with Evolution Network, we are a team that we work together and we try to support each other as much as we can. But also, if you think about it, you have a lender you have an inspector you most likely work with, you have all the say people that you work with, you have all the agents that can help you out. So the best way to I say to get those connections, I always say the agents come to the office, mingle with other agents. That's why we do all these events, we do all these classes, we try to bring you guys together because we can always learn from each other. And there's people that like us here in this call, we each of us have a different talent, and that's what it makes it unique. And especially when we can put all those together and we can work together. Jorge, you have your hand up. I know you muted. You muted, Jorge. Can't hear you.
I'm mute.
Okay, there we go.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
I don't know why
Yeah.
you keep doing that. But no, actually, in actuality, it is exactly what Eric and Jerry was mentioning. As a business owner, I think the secret sauce is to delegate. I mean, you have to delegate. You have to go ahead and, I mean, if you're expecting yourself to do everything by yourself, you're setting up yourself for failure. Exactly what you were saying, Priscilla. You don't like to do it with anything to do with Canvas. And in order for you to just spend time figuring it out and wasting your time, you can use that time to produce even more and delegate it to somebody else while actually that person is taking care of that side of it. You can be more productive, and I think it will multiply your amount of productivity rather than wasting your time on something that you don't know. Doesn't mean that you don't have to learn, but if you don't deal with it, just delegate. I think that's the secret sauce of that.
Yeah, that right there is great because what I was thinking about is something I heard yesterday in church that they mentioned. It was like, wow, it's not about adding more, because sometimes we oh, gotta add more, gotta add the camera, gotta do this. No,
Right.
it's not about adding more. It's choosing what's best.
Hmm.
Choosing what's best.
Correct.
That's by far the most like profound thing that you can take away from this call is choosing what's best for you in the sense from what you've written down, from what you go, from what your why, for what you want for you and your family. Choosing what's best is gonna get you one step closer to that why.
Exactly.
And I think these are we all on this called in the evolution team. We got in a point in our life we had to choose what was best for our family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Oh yeah.
and we did, and we're so grateful that we did it together, and we're here. So
Yeah.
it's definitely go back and then a lot of people take that, oh, you're selfish, and I'm like, if I don't take care of myself, how I can take care of others? I always look at
Amen.
work differently, and it's the same thing. I when the big example when you're on the flight, you put your mask on first to be able to help the person next to you. So why can't we do that in our daily life? Why can't we do that for ourselves when we're working on a business who can be, a very productive business where you're supporting your family? So think about that a little bit. Norma, you have your hand up.
Yes, we tend to procrastinate. Myself, I'm not good at editor and take a video and find something to put in social media. That is not my thing. That's why I have to, doing again with the guy who do my social media. I had to hire him again. I did it last year for 2 months. It was amazing. I have a lot of leads. I paused it the last 2 weeks of December. I have to do it again because I procrastinated. I do it tomorrow. No, tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes because I'm not good at it. I'm good at talking to people. I'm doing and going out, but not sitting down, planning my social media things. This is something I have to do it now.
Right.
But we procrastinate. This is our problem. Tomorrow never comes.
I
We
agree.
have to do it now.
That's true.
Yes.
Thank you,
Definitely.
Norma. That's a doing Joe Larosa doing now. That's what it sounds like. Love it. And be able to delegate, which is huge. And the last point today is leaders create merging to think. And this is a great point as well, because a lot of time, like we said, if we schedule, leave no room to think, no room to kind of review, evaluate, and go back and see how our day was. Imagine that the first part of your morning. So from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., did I did what I was supposed to do today? Did I make my phone calls? Did I follow up? Did I did something related with real estate today? That time to think and go back and review on daily basis, it will help you get to your goals a lot faster because if Vale say, hey, you know what? Instead of me today doing something related with real estate, it could be, taking a class, it could be posting in social media, it could be, learning something new. I spent those 2 hours in TikTok. And I went to TikTok shop and I ordered stuff and can my morning was gone. So what will you, if you think about it, you start creating that time to think, you will go back and say, you know what? No, my next 2 hours, I'm definitely going to get it done. I'm definitely going to go ahead and get myself together.
I want to add something. I'm sorry. I want to add something really quick, Matt, before you go ahead and put your hand up. Because that part of reflection, I'm like, because I'm very big with that part. You have to reflect on your day because I don't know if you guys been to the business planning one. There's no way we can troubleshoot anything unless we know what's going on or what's been happening is either during the day or during the week or anything like that. Because if you don't go back and reflect, how are you gonna make changes for the upcoming week? How are you gonna find the gaps where you're letting things fall through the crack, for the next week? Because if you're not reflecting, you're most likely and coming from experience, I'm telling you, I'm saying it because it's coming from experience. If I didn't when I didn't reflect most of the time, I repeated the same week again. I repeated the same week.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be repeating the same week if that's a week that you were not happy with or whatever, or you're doing things that are not like Priscilla mentioned. You're on TikTok or you go on social media and to work, put it in the comma to work, but then next thing you know, you're doom strolling and you order, you spend $300 on TikTok, you know.
That's
So
normal.
that was a negative day. We want to be positive day. We want to have positive income on a daily basis. So that part of thinking, reviewing, evaluating, it is very important because when we don't, then if we feel exhausted because we have no idea if it's working or not. The other day, just give an example, I sat down with one of my mentees that I mentor, and when I went over her conversion numbers, she's looking at it. She's like, "Wow, I didn't know." I told her you're doing excellent in regards to your converting numbers, but she didn't really have thought about it. She wasn't thinking about the aspect about it, so she couldn't evaluate whether she was doing good or not. And when I went over her numbers, I'm like, "You're doing amazing. That's great. Keep this up." That's why it's so important accountability. So at that point, her mind, I knew there was a mental click or mental shift in her brain because of the fact that it gave her more confidence. It gave her more confidence to hear that she's doing good. That we were able to evaluate her business or evaluate her progress during that week, and for her to understand that she's doing great. Then okay, I can push this week now more. Let me figure out. And that's the time. So that's the thing. Sometimes we just need that little mental shift push from an accountability standpoint. That's gonna turn the table completely. Turn the table completely.
And I
Magda,
feel like
Magda, you had your hand up.
That's good. Oh yeah.
And then Cheryl.
Yeah, you say it right. Well, about the time. So if we put the things in our calendar, what we want to do and stick to it, we get that confidence and we get more like what I have on my mind is when I started real estate, that I decided I saved some money. I had at that time $22,000 in saving. That's way I knew that I can, just make sure that I'm going to do my job. And I was okay. I didn't feel like in panic. I was calm because I have some money in my bank. So that gave me that um, peace of mind. But at the end, because I waited for 6 months until I have my closing, I was like, oh my goodness, my money. And I was getting panic because I was not I thought, oh my goodness, maybe I was not ready enough. I gotta have more money. So if I say that because if we have everything like in our mind and put it on a calendar and be ready and prepared, and we do that, that gave us that um a peace of
Confidence.
mind. So yeah, confident. So that's why we need to stick to our calendar and keep it and just do it because that is going to help us and do what we're supposed to do. I did it in the beginning. That's why I waited for my first transaction, but I didn't stop. So it was one and the other one and the other one because I was working non-stop. When I decided, I say no, I'm going to the office because in the office you can hear when you can hear a lot of things and you can learn. So
You get
and
inspired.
people was making call and I was listening how they make that call. So that's very important at the beginning, going to the office and just get in the community and learn and go and stick to it. And that's work. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
great. I love
Carol?
that you have the plan, you had a goal,
Yeah.
and you stick to it. And today you've been on the as a realtor for how long now, Magda?
11 years.
11 years. So
11
you
years.
took the step of faith for that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Cheryl?
Yeah,
You,
yeah, yeah.
I just want to close out with the part where you mentioned TikTok. It's okay if you like TikTok. That's what I like. I like
Well, I hope you're not
Yeah.
spending $300 a day.
well, it depends how you spend it, my friend. So the way I see it is that that if we like something, we can be as creative as we want with the type of business that we have. So if you like TikTok, that's okay. You spend those $3,000 in ads. Because
Yeah.
let me tell you, tomorrow I'm closing my first deal from a TikTok
Uh,
person. So with that being said,
TikTok
TikTok
person.
works. So use those $3,000 in invest in TikTok. So use it. And the way I want you to see it is it doesn't matter what is the type of lead generation that you want to use. Just if you like something, just put your effort in that.
That
Like
is
if you like to see TikTok, okay, let's add a twist to that. What about if the next time when you go to TikTok, the first thing you do is to upload a video. You're not gonna open TikTok without uploading a video of you talking about how's the
Some
market or something related to real estate.
yeah.
So let's have that switch of mindset. If you like something, it doesn't matter what it is. I think somebody's talking. Well, if you like something, just use that as your lead gen and you see how things change. So,
So
that
as
is
we close out, as Priscilla closes out, I want to give out some reflection questions, really quick. So where in your business are you most reactive right now? Think about that. What triggers emotional decisions right now for you, so we can start making changes for that. How often do you pause to think before responding, or before reacting? Okay. And what systems would reduce your daily reactivity? That's another big question right there you can ask for yourself in your business. What are you confusing urgency with importance? We have to look at that. That way we're not just doing, and not focusing on what's most important. And how does that being so reactive affect your confidence and your energy levels when we're doing that? Because when we're so reactive, that can be extremely, extremely exhausting sometimes, very exhausting. So those
very
are some of the questions you should be asking, reflective questions that you can ask yourself this week, that for the last week, so you can make changes this week moving forward.
It's just a little bit of homework, daily pause. Before you respond in that text, take 10 seconds and ask yourself, if this is urgent, that I really need to take this
Mhm.
phone call right now? It's going to take me out of my track. And I will also suggest everyone this call, add 3 priorities for the day. 3 things that you say that's going to help you get your business. 3 priorities per day. Put that on your calendar, block it, and make sure it gets done. And if you need an accountability partner, let us know. We can go ahead and any of us can go back and review your day. Go back and like, okay, what do you do this day? What do you do for the week? And let's go ahead and get this, get ourselves together. Again, we're here to help each other out. We're here to be able to support you. And that's why we create this call, to be able to reflect in our business, not at the end of the year, but in a daily basis. And again, guys, we also have Evolution Network in Spanish, which starts today at 9 a.m. So if you guys subject, but in Spanish. But we want to thank everyone for being here today, and we hope to see you Thursday on our classes. Again, it's a Spanish class, but we do have, I know sisters working in an English one as well. That's business planning. Business planning could be any time of the year. So thank you guys for being here today, and we see you guys this Thursday.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Adios.
Bye.
Have a great
Sayonara.
week.
Have a great day.
Ciao.
Be a blessed day, guys.
Bye-bye.